I've heard many people say that they feel like they are too old to start jiu-jitsu. I can totally understand why someone would feel this way. I've coached many students well in their 60s, and I've seen lots of my colleagues teaching students even in their 80s. So I feel like jiu-jitsu, when tailored the right way, can be for any age, any person. And I can empathize for someone who's maybe in their 40s or 50s or above, and maybe feeling like they're too old because they see jiu-jitsu and how it's a very active sport, and many young people training really hard, and they can be concerned about the pace or their athletic ability to keep up with some of these people who might be younger, more athletic than they are. But the great thing about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that it's not 100% about athletic ability. It's about technique. It's about leverage. It's about timing. And these sort of things never age. If you have a good timing of technique, and if you have good technique and you know how to apply the principles of leverage, you don't need speed, you don't need strength to accomplish your goal of staying safe and staying fit and protecting yourself. Now, the students that I've coached that are 60, I mean, I have a old training partner who's I think late 60s now. He's a black belt. He still continues to train with all the 20-year-olds, right? I mean, obviously, this is a great example how someone who's older can keep up with some of the younger people because they have very proficient technique. Even a friend of mine who's 70 years old, he's a black belt, still continues to train with all the young people because they have proficient technique. So if you're a brand new person, obviously, and you're 60 or 70, you don't have the technique yet, but you can slowly build the technique in a safe environment. And once you have this technique and you learn how to use things like leverage and the principles of timing and momentum, then you'll be able to utilize your technique to do jiu-jitsu in many ways, not just going against young people, but also, doing many rounds or doing a class for an hour or longer. So I feel like jiu-jitsu is definitely not only for the young people or for the young generation, it's also for the older generation. And some might even say jiu-jitsu is for everyone, as long as you do it in a correct manner and have a support team that's going to help you grow to be the best jiu-jitsu practitioner that you can be. So why is it important for someone who's older, maybe 40s, 50s and above, to start jiu-jitsu? Well, jiu-jitsu is a great way to build endurance, muscular endurance, cardiovascular endurance. It's a great way to build strength. It's a great way to train our minds, because jiu-jitsu requires us to use our mind and our body at the same time. We're problem solving while stressing our bodies physically. And I think many people, as they get older, they want to keep their mind sharp by doing certain brain activities, playing chess, playing certain video games. And they also want to stay in shape by working out. So jiu-jitsu kind of is, the best of both worlds, where you can do jiu-jitsu and you get a physical activity and you get a mental activity at the same time. And as we continue to get older and older, we want to make sure that our joints are strong, and jiu-jitsu continuously stresses our joints in a safe manner where we can build joint strength, build muscular strength, and very, very functional strength, right? Opposed to sometimes when we just do normal activities at the gym, while they do build muscular strength, sometimes it's not as functional, especially when just doing some of these traditional manners, like, just doing weight machines. Like a lot of the senior citizens, they go to the gym and they do the machines. And while this is great, it's better than not doing anything, but sometimes it's not as functional as doing something like jiu-jitsu, where our bodies move with all of our joints and muscles working together in a very functional manner. So this can help us as we get older, because, we stay healthy, our muscle mass is strong, and our coordination. So these things will help us as we get older. And of course, as you start and let's say you're an older person in their 60s or 70s, you want to learn how to fall safely. You want to learn, once I fall, how do I get back up safely? In fact, my grandmother, who is now 80, I taught her how to do a technical stand-up and how to do a modified technical stand-up for if she, at any reason, fell down at her house and hurt herself and she can't get back up and how she normally does. I taught her the technique on how she can get back up slowly and safely on her own so that she could get to a phone if she needed to, if she didn't have her phone on her. So these techniques we teach in Jiu-Jitsu, technical stand-up, how to fall safely. You don't want to fall down and to break your wrist or hurt your head, right? So if these things are really important for, especially for senior citizens and somebody who's older. So that's another reason why, like, physical activity, learning how to fall safely, learning how to get back up safely. You know, because I know that, you know, especially senior citizens, as they fall and they hurt their hip or they hurt their back, then that's when some serious issues can come up. So I think it's also, as you're an older practitioner, it's really important to go to the correct classes. So I think the beginner classes are usually the best for this age group, if they can make it to the beginner's class, because that's going to usually be more technique driven, more fundamentals driven, and not so much free sparring. And this allows the older generation to get a good workout and lower the risk of injury. And they still are able to train their mind and to train their body, which is usually, I feel, why an older person might do jiu-jitsu. And when I say older person, I mean, I'm going to be 40 this year, so I'm talking about 40, 50, 60 and above, right? Somebody not in their 20s or 30s. And I know I'm on the younger side of that, and I can only speak from my experience as a coach, coaching older folks. But I feel that the older generation, they want to do jiu-jitsu to stay in shape, to keep their mind and body strong, and for the community. I don't feel like many older people, like in their 50s, start jiu-jitsu to be a competitor, to be a professional jiu-jitsu athlete, or to be an MMA fighter. Like some of these teenagers or 20-year-olds start jiu-jitsu. They kind of have that athletic aspirations. So I think knowing that you're coming into jiu-jitsu as a hobbyist, so that you can keep your mind and your body strong and you can learn self-defense and learn a new skill and be a part of community, it's important to go to the classes with a plan. You're going to the fundamentals classes so that you can be in a more safe environment. And you want to communicate with your professor, because whenever someone communicates with me and they're like, hey, I want to learn jiu-jitsu because of this. I don't want to be a competitor. I don't want to come here and have fights for my life. I want to come and learn a skill, get in shape, keep my mind sharp, be a part of a community. And then that allows us as a professor, as instructors, to understand why these people are here, and we can work with them. And they have this line of open communication. So I think if you are an older person, I understand it might be very intimidating to come to a jiu-jitsu dojo, jiu-jitsu academy, and see a class going on and just wondering, like, where do I fit in to this whole thing? Do I even fit in? You know, can I keep up with the class? So my recommendation is go at your own pace, right? You don't need to go out and get in shape and then come to jiu-jitsu. Just show up and communicate with your instructor and do as much as you can within the class. And try your best to come to the correct class and communicate with the professor. Hey, which class is best for me? I'm 60 years old. I want to just get in shape. I have some pre-existing, you know, past injuries that I'm concerned about. You know, what training partners should I go with? And myself, if I have an older person in the class that I'm concerned about, I'm always being mindful of who their partners are, and also give them the freedom to find out, hey, this person, I don't feel safe with them. They're a 19-year-old guy who just too much testosterone. they have the choice as well, and you know, to not go with certain people. I give them that freedom as well, as we're starting to become comfortable with the class and starting to learn the dynamics of the class. So, you know, and I think it's important to go at your own pace. So the takeaway from this video: if you're an older person, you can do jiu-jitsu. Doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter your ability. You can do jiu-jitsu at your own pace. Go to the classes that are best suited for beginners, especially in the beginning. Have smart choices of partners. Communicate with your professor. And also just understand why you're doing jiu-jitsu. Chances are you're there as a hobbyist. Jiu-jitsu is great for mental and physical strength. It's a great way to learn safety, like how to fall, how to stand up correctly, how to defend yourself. And it's a great way to be a part of a community, because as I understand, as people get older, they want a sense of belonging and a sense of community. And if they don't have that, you know, in other aspects of their life, jiu-jitsu is a great way to get that, to get a sense of belonging, to get a team where we get this interaction and this human interaction and community and friendship. So you're never too old to start jiu-jitsu. See you at class today.